Hi everyone, this is an introduction to week 6, which is really writing week. This is the second sprint of Project 1. It takes place during week 6 and 7. You will see I've added some new content at the top of the Moodle page called Project 1 Sprint 2, and there are 4 links there that I want to review with you. The intro quickly outlines what we're doing this week. Basically, you have 2 weeks left to complete Project 1. And week 6 then is a chance for you to develop your draft portfolios consisting of your 3 individual documents and then the collection of your entire portfolio and a letter of transmittal for that portfolio. You'll need to hold 3 scrums this week and record the answers to those questions so that I can see the progress you're making on the second sprint. Project 1 Sprint 2, this is a writing week, is a link that outlines this week's work. And so to begin, we have your portfolio is due in draft form by Sunday at midnight. That's Sunday the 16th. And there's been some interesting conversations about the format that your final portfolio needs to take. In early drafts of the instructions, I believe I required Word files, but we've discovered that working in Drive has a lot of advantages as far as sharing documents goes. So if you want to work totally in Drive to keep your work visible and to avoid having to duplicate work, that's fine with me. So you would upload Word files, for example, to Drive, and you can either convert them to Google Docs or keep them as Word files. And that makes a difference because depending on how much styling you've already done in your documents. We know that if you upload Word docs to the Google Drive folder, it might, and if you convert Word to Google Docs, some of your styles might go away. Similarly, any notes or comments you've written on Word files might be lost. So if you've done a lot of work in Word, go ahead and upload those to Drive, but don't convert them. And I'll just download your Word files to check them for styles and comments and all the rest. If you haven't already styled a lot of Word docs, you can realize some efficiency by originating your documents in Drive and just working in Drive. You can use styles in Drive, and that simplifies some of your work. And that's what these bulleted items discuss. For Sunday this week, you need completed drafts of your 3 individual documents, the descriptions, definitions, and letter of transmittal. The Project 1 Vision and Requirements document gives you detailed instructions on the letter of transmittal. Both letters of transmittal need to be 2 pages long, your individual ones and then the team one. They're both 2 pages, so that's a total of 4 pages. You also need to have all documents arranged in your team portfolios. So you can create a final portfolio folder, for example, put your materials in there and arrange them in a logical way. And then, of course, your file naming is very important. So one of the things your team can discuss is how best to arrange your materials. By Thursday, October 20th, the files in your portfolio draft collection also have to be annotated with your requirements commitments. The requirements commitments are your focus for peer review. So if someone is focusing on paragraph development, all of your notes will reflect your thinking about paragraph development and those requirements. And so you want to comment on your teammates' work as it regards your specific requirement commitments. As I asked you to do with your annotations, it's a good idea to label the notes that you make on your teammates' drafts so it's clear to you and to me that you've commented sufficiently on the basis of the requirements that you've committed to. And I will go into some detail about peer review in just a second. Make sure your work is visible. I've also added a team writing survey, which is due by this Wednesday at midnight, asking you to provide insights about the effectiveness of teamwork this semester. And then a reminder that all final portfolios are due a week from Sunday, October 23rd by midnight. The third link that I've added to the Moodle homepage is called The Purpose of Comments on Teammates' Work. And when we go there, you'll see that you'll have to make a decision about how many comments to include. I don't want to say, well, do one per requirement because then everyone stops at one. I don't want to do 10 per requirement because that's an awful lot of work. So basically, you want to base the number and content of your notes based on the following goals. Your job is to help your teammates excel. You want an excellent team portfolio, so as you reflect on your particular requirements that you've committed to, make your notes as expansive as they need to be to help your team excel. The other important part of this assignment is to demonstrate your thorough understanding of the requirements that you've committed to. So if you only write one note, that doesn't really demonstrate much understanding. However, if you write several notes on each of the documents, then you will demonstrate more understanding. The notes should be detailed and specific, not just a suggestion like maybe you should expand this paragraph, but you should expand this paragraph to reach a certain goal or for a certain reason. You might be asking for more examples, for example, so that the author clarifies what he or she means. So make those as specific as you possibly can. It's important in the next bullet to identify strengths and weaknesses. So you might be looking through the portfolio and see that one person has illustrated a concept in a really interesting way. And you might make a suggestion that says maybe everybody should use the same kind of illustration, a photograph, for example, instead of a line drawing, or whatever it is that would add more value and clarity to your portfolio. So this is an opportunity for everybody to benefit from your notes. Finally, suggest improvements and how the improvements will help teammates meet requirements. So this is sort of like the third bullet. If you're going to say somebody should do something in order to meet a requirement, also add a note about how that improvement will actually achieve that goal. The team writing survey, which is due by Wednesday of this week by midnight, asks you to reflect on your experience in teams. You're obviously section 81, so you'd click that one, and then go down and think about each of the statements and whether you strongly disagree, agree, or strongly agree with it. And that will give me information about how effective this team structure is working, what you feel its benefits or limitations are. And so this is really very helpful information. I hope you'll take 5 to 10 minutes and provide some thoughtful response to this survey. At the bottom is a special kind of a question, and it says, participating in team discussions is a valuable use of my time. So as you're thinking about scrums and other team meetings that you've had, please provide your perspective here and then provide 2 reasons that explain your perspective. I broke it into 2 different answers just because the database then allows me to sort through both answers instead of having them combined into one cell in the database. I look forward to seeing the work that you've submitted last night. I'll be reviewing that and we'll be in touch with notes. Thanks very much, everyone. Have a good week.